Welcome to the Formula Foundation, the division algorithm and factor theorem in f of x. So let me first write the definition. Division algorithm in f of x. And what is f of x? F of x is a set of all those polynomials whose constant and coefficients are in f, field f, right? So let's see the definition. Let f of x is a polynomial and g of x is also a polynomial be two elements of f of x, with an and bm both non-zero elements of f and m is greater than 0. Then there are unique polynomials q of x and r of x, both are the functions of x, in f of x such that f of x, this polynomial, can be written as f of x is equal to g of x times q of x plus r of x, where either r of x is equal to 0 or the degree of r of x is less than the degree of m of g of x. Because r of x is the remainder, so either degree of r of x is equal to 0 or the degree of r of x is less than the degree m of g of x, right? Now let's see an example. Here is an example. Divide f of x. F of x is a polynomial of 4th degree by g of x, and g of x is another polynomial of degree 2 in z5 of x, right? Means z5 of x is the set of all those polynomials whose constant and coefficients are in z5, right? To find q of x and r of x of the above theorem. So to find q of x and r of x, we follow long division. But remember that we are in z5 of x. So for example, 4x minus 3x is equal to 4x minus into minus is equal to plus 3x, means 4x plus 3x is equal to 7x, but in z5 7 is equal to 2. So 4x plus 3x is equal to 2x, right? For example, so let's see the long division. So f of x is divided by g of x, that is x power 4 minus 3x cube plus 2x square plus 4x minus 1 is divided by x square minus 2x plus 3, right? So if we multiply this polynomial with x square, so we get x power 4 minus 2x square minus 2x cube and plus 3x square plus 3x square, right? So minus here plus or minus, right? So minus 3 and plus 2 is equal to minus x cube, and it is equal to minus x square. Now we write this term plus 4x, and now multiply this factor by minus x. So we get minus x cube and minus into minus is equal to plus 2x square and minus 3x, right? So it becomes minus 3x square and plus 4 plus 3 is equal to 7x, and 7x in z5x is equal to plus 2x, right? Plus 2x. Now we write minus 1 here, minus 1. So now minus 3, if minus 3 is multiplied by this factor or this polynomial, so we get minus 3x square and plus 6x, and 6x in z5 is equal to 1x plus x, and minus 3 into plus 3 is equal to 9, and 9 in z5 is equal to 9 in z5 means is equal to 4. So plus 4, sorry ये है minus 4, minus 4, right? Because 3 into 3 is equal to 9 and plus into minus is equal to minus, right? So it becomes plus minus and plus, so ये cancel और ये होगा x and minus 1 plus 4 is equal to plus 3, right? So required q of x is equal to x square minus x minus 3, x square minus x minus 3, and r of x is the remainder, that is r of x is equal to x plus 3, right? Now let's see the factor theorem. Remember that factor theorem is the corollary of division algorithm, right? So here is the factor theorem. An element a belongs to f is a 0 of f of x. 0 means root. So 0 of f of x belongs to f of x, means f of x is a member of this f of x, right? If and only if x minus a is a factor of f of x in f of x, means कोई element a which belongs to field f, right? So this element a is a 0, means वो element a polynomial f of x, means what is f of x? f of x ऐसी polynomials का set है जिसके coefficient और constant इस field f से belong करें, और ये है तमाम उन polynomials का set, right? तो उनमें से f of x, उनमें से एक polynomial है f of x, right? So according to factor theorem, एलिमेंट जो कि f का मेंबर है, फील्ड f का मेंबर है, वो इस पॉलिनोमियल f ऑफ x का मेंबर तभी होगा जब x माइनस a इस f ऑफ x का एक फैक्टर होगा, राइट? और वो फैक्टर बिलोंग करेगा f ऑफ x से, राइट? मीन्स ये जो फैक्टर है ये भी एक पॉलिनोमियल है एंड दिस फैक्टर मस्ट बिलोंग्स टू f ऑफ x. इफ a बिलोंग्स टू f इज अ रूट ऑफ f of x, right? So let me try to prove it. So suppose that for a belongs to f, we have f of a is equal to 0. Means let's suppose a is a root of f of x, right? So by division algorithm there exists q of x, r of x belongs to f of x such that f of x is equal to x minus a q of x plus r of x, where either r of x is equal to 0 or the degree of r of x is less than 1, because in terms of division algorithm x minus a is a g of x और r of x की डिग्री हमेशा g of x से लेस होगी. So if degree of g of x is equal to 1, so ज़रूरी है कि r of x की डिग्री 0 होगी, because r of x is a polynomial having degree less than 1, right? और r of x की डिग्री 0 है, it means that r of x is a constant, right? So it means that is r of x is a constant for c belongs to f. So 1 becomes f of x is equal to x minus a times q of x plus c, right? Now let's see a new term, evaluation homomorphism. So here is the definition of evaluation homomorphism. Let f be a subfield of a field E, means E is an extension field of f, and let alpha be any element of E, and let x be an indeterminate. They map phi alpha from f of x, means set of polynomial, to an extension field E, defined by phi of alpha of a polynomial is equal to this number. For polynomial belongs to f of x is a homomorphism of f of x into E. Means evaluation homomorphism एक mapping है. Means this evaluation homomorphism has polynomial belongs to f of x as a domain, right, and give a number from E as a range or as an output, right। और ये इस तरह डिफाइन है कि जब इस एवैल्यूएशन होमोमॉर्फिज्म फाई अल्फ़ा में एज एन इनपुट पॉलिनोमियल रखेंगे तो एज एन आउटपुट ये नंबर होगा, मीन्स जो एक्सटेंशन फील्ड का मेंबर होगा ये नंबर, वो ये नंबर होगा, राइट। मीन्स ए नोट प्लस ए वन अल्फ़ा अप टू ए एन अल्फ़ा पावर एन, राइट। मीन्स हर पॉलिनोमियल के हर एक्स को इस अल्फ़ा से, जो कि अल्फ़ा बिलोंग्स टू ई, सो इस अल्फ़ा से रिप्लेस करेंगे और ये जो नंबर होगा ये बिलोंग करेगा एक्सटेंशन फील्ड ई से, राइट। सो लेट वी अप्लाई दिस evaluation homomorphism into our theorem, factor theorem. So applying our evaluation homomorphism that is phi of a, because we have a in place of alpha, so phi of a from f of x to f, right। so we find, so here f of x belongs to f of x means set of all polynomials, so range will be f of a, right, according to evaluation homomorphism। so f of a is equal to x माइनस ए, मीन्स हर x को a से रिप्लेस करेंगे, तो जब यहाँ पर x को a से रिप्लेस करेंगे सो इट बिकम ज़ीरो टाइम्स q ऑफ a प्लस c, बट वी हैव f ऑफ a इज इक्वल टू ज़ीरो, सो f ऑफ a इज इक्वल टू ज़ीरो इज इक्वल टू, एंड f ऑफ a इज इक्वल टू ज़ीरो टाइम्स q ऑफ a प्लस c, 0 times q of a plus c, so it implies that इस एक्सप्रेशन को ज़ीरो होने के लिए we have to set c is equal to 0, so equation 2 becomes f of x is equal to x minus a times q of x plus 0, because c is equal to 0, right। so it means that f of x is completely divided by x minus a, that's why remainder is 0, and thus x minus a is a factor of f of x, right। so thus x minus a is a factor of f of x, and theorem has been proved। now let's see an example। so working again in z5 of x, so let f of x is equal to x power 4 plus 3x cube plus 2x plus 4 belongs to z5 of x। now note that 1 is a 0 of this polynomial, because if we substitute 1 in place of x, so we get 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 4, and it is equal to 10, and 10 in z5 is equal to 0, because multiple of 5, 10 is a multiple of 5, so it is equal to 0, so it means that 1 is a 0 of this polynomial in z5, right। so according to factor theorem, note that 1 is a 0 of f of x, so according to factor theorem, if x is equal to 1 is a 0 of f of x, so x minus 1 must be the factor of f of x in z5 of x. So by division algorithm, we can write f of x as x power 4 plus 3x cube plus 2x plus 4 is equal to x minus 1, means x minus 1 is a factor of this polynomial, and other factor is q of x, which is of degree 3, right, because this factor is of degree 1. So we can find q of x by long division. So by long division we have x power 4 plus 3x cube plus 2x plus 4 and 0x square, x minus 1 is divided by x minus 1. So x cube is multiplied by this factor, we get x power 4 minus x cube, and it is equal to 4x cube, right? Now we write 0x square here plus 0x square. Now this factor is multiplied by plus 4x square, we get 4x cube and minus 4x square, so it's 4x square. Now we write this term plus 2x and multiply this factor by plus 4x, we have 4x square minus 4x and plus 2 plus 4 is equal to 6, and 6 in z5 is equal to 1. So here remainder is x, and we write plus 4 here and multiply this factor by 1 plus 1, so we have x minus 1. So plus 4 and plus 1 is equal to 5, and 5 in z5 is equal to 0, right? So q of x is equal to this polynomial, so we can factorize f of x in these two factors, right? Now let's consider this polynomial. So if we put x is equal to 1 here, so we will get 10, and 10 in z5 is equal to 0, so x is equal to 1 is again a root of this polynomial, right? So again x is equal to 1 is a 0 of x cube plus 4x square plus 4x plus 1. So again by division algorithm, this polynomial x cube plus 4x square plus 4x plus 1 is equal to x minus 1 and q of x. Now how to find q of x? By long division. So x cube plus 4x square plus 4x plus 1 is divided by again x minus 1. So if we multiply this factor by x square, we get x cube minus x square and 5x square, it means that 5x square, it means that 0x square, means 5 in z5 is equal to 0, so 0 and plus 4x, we write this term here. Now if we multiply 4 to this factor, so we get 4x. Now if we write plus 1 here, so plus into minus is equal to minus 4, right? So we get minus, and plus 1 and plus 4 is equal to 5, and 5 in z5 is equal to 0. So f of x, and what is f of x? F of x was x power 4 3x cube plus 2x plus 4 is equal to x minus 1 and this factor, and this factor is again factorized in two factors, that is x minus 1 whole square and factor x square plus 4. Now notice that x is equal to 1 is again a root of this polynomial x square plus 4, because if we replace x by 1, so we get 5, and 5 in z5 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 1 is again a 0 of this polynomial. So by long division, so we write since x power x square plus 4 still has 1 as a 0, so we can divide again by x minus 1 and get x square plus 0x plus 4, right, and divided by x minus 1. So if we multiply x to this factor, we have x square minus x, so minus, so x plus 4 and plus 1, so x minus 1, and plus 4 plus 1 is equal to 5, and 5 in z5 is equal to 0, and thus f of x means x power 4 plus 3x cube plus 2x plus 4 is equal to x minus 1 whole cube and another factor x plus 1 in z5 of x, right? That's it.